Do you want to learn how to create interactive and dynamic dashboard inside Microsoft Excel? If that is yours, this particular video will definitely teach you every single thing you need to know. How to answer business questions, just like what I have right on my screen. From the KPIs right in here down to the actual business question or the problems to solve. Read through this particular part right here and see what exactly we are about to get into using Microsoft Excel. So this is the data we're going to be using for this particular project. And in the first video, I have answered all the questions that need to be answered. Those are the things we have done in the first video, which makes it important for you to watch the first video so that you can actually follow me step by step to create every single analysis, calculations, DAX, functions, right? We're not doing Power BI, it's not DAX. So all the functions we are going to be writing to actually power our dashboard environment right in here. If this is what you're interested in to learn, please do me a favor to subscribe to this particular channel and actually, like and share to your friends and family, and let us get into the class. Go ahead and actually add a new sheet. In Power BI, we call it a new page, but over here, we call it a sheet. So call this one dashboard. And quickly what you need to do is to go to the top ribbon here, go to view, and make sure you turn off every single thing right in here. And you have something as plain as this. I am very particular about color. So let us go ahead and actually Control A to highlight every single cells contained inside this very sheet. And once you have done that, go ahead and do Control 1, then go to this particular fill here and go to more colors. Then click on custom, and over here, remove whatever you have in here and fill it. Or still, you can actually use this particular RGB should you're actually using an old version of Excel. So here, you're going to fill this particular part with 28 all through. Can you see that now? So 28 over here, fill it to 28. And on that 28, this is the kind of black that we want. Go ahead and click on OK. And here we go. We have a dark, place to work with. Okay, the next thing now is to actually create the card to be used. It's very important. Let's go straight up to this particular insert, and over here we can click on illustrations, from there shapes, and pick up this particular rounded corner rectangle and drag it all the way down here. So we have to go over to the top ribbon here, and over here we just have to do 2.25 to 4.32. 4.32. So we don't have the same screen size. This size I'm actually using right now might affect you if you have a wider screen or a smaller screen. So it depends. Do what actually can fit your screen currently, right? Once you have done this, you just have to reduce the rounded corner. We don't want it to look too much, right? So I'm going to keep this over here. So we need the white space. So the white space we're going to have right now is going to be big. This is what we call the white space. Any space you see right in here before the edge is a white space. This is another white space over the top right here. Can you see now? Everything here is a white space that does not actually concern this one here. So now we have this. We just have to go over to line and take off the line, then go to fill, then let us choose gradient. But this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting, because we need to do something much more advanced right in here when it comes to creating, a card. I'm going to show you how to format it properly with perfect colors. Okay, the next thing we have to do right now with our gradient, we have to be sure of what color we want to use. I have severally done, a particular video where I have shown you how to pick up colors from Adobe color.com, whatever. So now I just want to use 3 stops, Bobby. Let's go with 2 stops. So take off this particular 2. I'm left with this particular one right here. On this one now, we just have to choose this particular color and go to colors here. And over here, we can fill this particular part here. Or still, if you're using an old version, just make sure you fill these numbers. So over here is going to be 69. So we're going to do that by 66. And again, this one should be 2. I think it's the 213. That is 213. This is what we want for this. Click on OK. Now for this particular color, we're going to select a darker version of the color we have just actually used. I believe I've gotten it right. If you are still having any doubt, or maybe you don't have the same exact color with me, all you have to do is to actually take it back again and watch. Okay, so for this one here, we're going to do 23, and over here is going to be 72. So we selected the darker version of it. So once we have done that, let us go over here now and select a direction like this. Now we can actually rotate the angle and create some kind of effect that gives us a darker color and a lighter or brighter version of it right at this particular spot right in here. So we have this. Beautiful. Now the next thing now is to create a little design on it. So before we do that, we just have to create our own first KPI. So go over to insert and click over this particular text and click on text box and drag this over here. And what you're going to do right now is to actually say this one is actually your total stock values. Right? So once you have done this now, we tick off this, and go over here. Let us increase this. So for the color, we choose a very calm, cool color. Let's go with this. So this is going to be somewhere around here. So Ctrl D to duplicate it and keep this one beneath this particular one here. So now it is time for me to go to this particular view and turn on our formula bar. So with this now, put equal sign, making sure this one is selected, and go over to this particular question, and let us go from the inception, which is this particular, this one here, stock value. Let me show you what I've picked. So I've picked from this particular stock value here, this variable. So once we have done that now, we have to make sure we actually get a correct size that will actually match what we are actually, trying to present. So click over here, go to this, and let us use this font and make sure this size should be around 32. So expand it to show everything. Okay, this is cool. Now for the color now, we just have to choose our color. Here we go. We have something that looks like this. So let us go back up. I'm going to adjust this one a little bit. So 433, that is 4.33. So just a little bit. So this particular part is all about the kind of screen that you have. You might actually use the same size as I've used it right now. It will either be too big or too small. Or if you have the same screen with me, lucky you. You're going to have the same exact thing I have gotten. Okay, once I've done this right now, I'm going to just go ahead and Ctrl D to duplicate this one here. And once I've done the duplicate, I'm just going to resize this right here. So we need to actually convert this one to a black color. So let's go straight up to, solid fill. To a solid fill, let us select a particular color here, a dark shade color, not too dark. This one looks cool. So bringing this one over here now, we can make this smaller and keep it somewhere around here. And the rounded corner should be a little bit rounded. So we want this one into 3 places. So Ctrl D to duplicate this one, keep this one over here, and that Ctrl D again. So you can see the space is actually a lot. So I'm just going to delete this, and just extend this weight a little bit. Now that is cool. So keep this over here and over here, just adjust it. Once you're cool, hold your Control key to select the 3 of them. Go over here now, go to align and distribute horizontally. And again, you can actually distribute as in align top. So we have this right in here. Okay, so with this right now on our card, what we need to do is just to go all the way up again and insert. Let's create a little design on this. So take a circle and hold your shift key to drag a little bit down to have a perfect circle. Keep this over here. Once you have done this now, click over here and select this particular color. And once you have selected it, what you need to do right now is to say no line. So it looks like this, right? So just position it at where you really want to actually start. This particular part is cool. So duplicate it, duplicate it, duplicate it. Ctrl D will actually help you to get it done. Then move this particular one over here. So create a new design of your choice. It all depends on what you really want to actually have. So we just move this one over here, move this one, and that one again, and that one. I'm going to keep this on this particular spot. Ctrl D again, then keep this particular one on this spot, and keep this one on this very spot right in here. So you see this right now. This actually creates a little design for us. So I'm going to actually still click on this one and Ctrl D to actually get this done. And this time around, I'm going to increase this particular circle here. So it's bigger than the rest I've actually done before now. Then keep this over here, keep this over here. That is nice. So once we have done this right now, the next thing we have to do is to go over to this home. From home, click on find and select this particular, select objects here. Then select everything. Once you've done that, let us put this at 80% and step off and let's see what we have. This gives us this particular kind of effect. And it looks beautiful. It depends on what you want. If this doesn't look like what you really want, you can have it removed or you can actually create your own style of it. Let us fill up this particular card here. So get this one at the top here, duplicate it by Ctrl D. Then you drag in this to this level. So here's gonna be. Now we have to resize, just reduce it. Keep this over to this side here. Duplicate this one and keep this one over here. Then get on that one. So this one now will be total categories. So this one will be current stock. So we have to align them properly. So hold the Ctrl key and select all of them. Then go to this particular shape format and align to the top. Align top. So over here, we just have to make sure this one is centralized. So once I've done this right now, I'm going to go up again, go to insert and take up a circle here. Hold your shift key to drag a perfect circle, not too big, something a little bit smaller. Then keep this over to this particular part for a little design and no line. So what I'm going to do now is to select this particular actual color I'm using, which is this very color here. So duplicate this particular one, bring it over here, and let's quickly go over and pick up this very color. If that is too bright, we can change our mind to select something from here. So then duplicate again, and this time around, we want to select from here. So this gives us something like this. The next thing we have to do is just to go ahead and actually bring up the values that we need to actually be here. So Ctrl D to duplicate any of this one, keep it over here, and let's just put an equal sign. We want to take our total products, we go over here. And this is the number. So resize it. Make it to sit right here. So increase the size. Okay, let's go ahead and duplicate this one. Bring this over here. Duplicate again. Then this one should actually be our current stock. So where can we find that? Do we have it? Is stock value average. So it seems we have not created for current stock. So what we need to do right now is to go ahead and actually create that. It's very easy. Just copy this one, keep it beneath here, and go ahead and remove this one and click on this to get your current stock. So go back here now and actually click on this one. Let's go ahead and highlight and pick up this number. Hit the enter key. For this particular part here, it's going to be the total categories that we have created before now. Let's see where it is. And it's going to be this 5 right here. So click on this one and come over here and double click on the format printer. Give it to this, give it to this. So once you have done that, hold your control key, select 3 of them, and quickly we go to shape format, go to align and align button. Okay. If you want to master Microsoft Excel as well Power BI, I have a course that covers every single thing you need to know to actually master either Power BI or Microsoft Excel. Check out the comment section or the description box for the course. All right, everyone, we have just finished creating this particular one. It is time for you to create a new card. So Ctrl-D to duplicate this one and keep it right in here, right? So I'm just going to bring it down and hold my Control key to select this one. Go to the top ribbon, click over here and align top. This will give us proper alignment between here and here. The spacing will actually be, the same exact thing. We have to change the wideness, like go over here now. And over here, we just have to do, 2.89. This is what we want. And after we have done this right now, we need to actually customize the color we want to use, because this color, we can't use it for every single card we have right in here. So we have to choose a different color for this. So what color are we going to use? Let's find out. So with Ctrl-1 right now, we just have to go to solid. And from here, click over here, click on more. And let us go ahead and, fill this particular part. So the easiest way is to just do, 71, 71, 71. And if I click on OK here, I have something that looks like this. So from now on, this is the color we're going to be using in most of our cards. So what is going to be here? Let's go to the question. So here it says items below reorder level. So what we need to do is just to come over here, just go ahead and copy, double click, just duplicate this one and move it and keep it somewhere around here. Then stretch it this way. Let's go ahead and get a question as our title. So we get this. So once you have done that, you just have to go over here and pick up a color for it. So here we go. We have something like this. So the next thing we have to do right now is just to reduce this a little bit. Put it at 11. So we have a question. This particular title is too bright. I will go over here and select this one that looks a little bit calm. So beautiful. So how do we visualize this particular one here now? What we need to do is to actually click on this very part, the order and the need reorder. So let's go straight up to insert. And in my own case, I'm going to go with this particular one. So we don't need to keep any of this. We're going to create ours just to keep space. So once you have done, resize this, Ctrl X, and go over to your dashboard, then Ctrl V to paste it. And once you're here, you just have to move this one up in here. Then reduce it like this. So Ctrl 1, and no. So click back on it again and choose to say no line. So you have something like this. But next I'm going to do right now is to double click over here and go over to this particular part. Now we have to select a particular color that can actually make this one not to actually look too bright, because it's orders. We have our focus. The focus one is this particular little part right in here. that is the main focus we want to actually, give to people. So for that, we have to make sure we do something that wouldn't do, bright. So let's go with something like this, too bright. So let's check this color here. Okay, this color is not bad, but what if we go with this particular color? Not too bad. Let's go with this one. Beautiful. Can you see it now? So it is still popping out from the background that we have, but I think it's too dark. So let us change our mind. Double click on it so that it can actually activate it for you. So once you have done that, go over to this one, a little bit brighter. So now we can play around with this particular part here, the transparency part here, to send it a little bit, to the background. So we don't want it to appear too much. Then we have to make sure this one stands out. Double click on it, and over here, can you see now? We have pushed it out a little bit. So this is what we have done. So this one now is a color that it's actually, popped. Then what do we need to do? We have to just make sure we rearrange it to switch it from where it is and keep it somewhere around here. Once we have done this right now, we need to create a legend for this. And our legend is going to be, let's go ahead and click on this one, double click on it, and bring this over to this particular spot here. Then make it a bit smaller. Too huge. So somewhere around here. Now this particular color here, you can actually pick it if you want. Double click on it, and over here you have the color. You go over to more. You can copy the color code from here if you don't have it already. Then you have the color already. Now click over to here and paste in the color you've just copied its code over here, and here we go. That is the first legend. The second one, now we go ahead and keep this one over here. Then we select this particular color we have actually used. Can you see it now? So what next do? We just duplicate this particular one and keep it somewhere around here. And you can type here, need reorder. So we just make the text very small. Right? So then we just go over to here. So this one now should be orders. That is all. Can you see it now? So we have to click on this, and make sure we bring them down a bit. Once you have done that, next thing you have to do now is just to click on Ctrl D and bring this over here. Now let us go ahead and pick values. So we go straight up to need reorder. This is the value. Then Ctrl D to duplicate this and keep this over here. So get the value for orders. Then orders, this one. So what do we need to do? Click over this one and just double click on this one and use it over here. So here we go. We have something that looks like this. So we're not done yet. So what we need to do, we go over here straight up. So we have this particular percentage. How do we visualize the percentage we have alongside with what we have right in here? It's difficult, but we can make it sense using it. So what we need to do right now is to actually have it as what I call caption. So put an equal sign, text function here helps you to format percentage into normal percentage. Other than that, if I don't use this particular text and I reference this particular one over here, it's giving me something good. But what happens if I just go ahead and say, okay, I want to concatenate this text into it. This text is going to be, let's say, R below reorder. So let's see what happens. Now can you see now? This is what we have. Our text plus this is not guarantee that we're going to have it formatted the way it were before. So in that case, we need to actually use this particular text function here. Text, then come to the front of this particular 6 here put a comma, double quote 0.0%, then close and hit your enter key. Now we have 14.3% are below reorder. Okay, so once we have done that, now we can just go ahead and click on this one, duplicate it and keep it somewhere around here, stretch it up. Then let's go ahead and pick it up again. So here we go, we have this. We can just quickly go straight up to this. Can you see now? This makes a complete sense than what it were before. Okay, once we have done this now, we just have to go ahead and duplicate this one and keep this around here. So maintain the same spacing we have right here. So right now we can fill it up to this level. So before we do that, let's go straight up to here. So now, maintain the white space here to be equals to this particular one. And here you go, you have this. What is going to be right here? Let's find out. Okay. I'm looking for something that could actually be there. Out of all of this, let's look for which supplier deliver the most. We're looking for suppliers now. Okay, let's go with this particular one. Straight up to this particular one, duplicate and keep this over here. Then now turn on back formula bar. Let's go here. Then hit enter key, click on this and home. Double click on this and here we go. Escape key to take it off. Now you have this question here. How do you answer it? It's very simple. Create a very simple, chart, a pivot chart, insert. This is the chart I want to use over here. So if I Ctrl X to code it now, I can come over here and duplicate. Sorry, I said duplicate, and just Ctrl V to keep it down. So we just have to make sure we align it properly over here. So this is not making any damn sense now. It's not really making any sense. So what we can do is to right click and make sure you are right clicking on this particular total products, then hide. Once you have done that, take off this particular one, then take off the total and take off this very part here. Then finally, this particular one should be taken off. Then double click on it and turn off every single thing you have right in here. And as well, the bottom part should say no line for it. Then you can actually go to the text area and choose the color, which is going to be this color here. It pops right now. So once you've done that, click on this and change the color. So let's go with this particular color. This is cool. So this is not really finished yet. So what we can do right now is to click over here and click over here and turn on the values because you don't really need them. So values, which is data label. So you can click on data labels and go over to text again and click over this particular color. So here we go. We have something that looks beautiful, just like this. Okay, to fasten the whole process, I have actually gone behind the scene to get all of those cards right here laid out for you guys. It's easy. If you want to see what I've done here, this is a single card, under card again, under one right here, under one, and that little one here, and this one plus this one. How many cards in total? That's going to be around 8, right? 3 here, under 3 here, 6, that is around 8. Try to actually get this same kind of view created. If you had been a subscriber on my YouTube channel, this wouldn't be something that is too much to do, right? It's something very simple that you can actually do in just a few seconds. Just take your time to get it done. So what do we need to do? We answer the questions. So which category has the most low stock? So we already have that. We start looking for it over here. Let's go straight up to this part. I think this is it here. So we just have to click on this and create a chart. Something very simple. This chart wouldn't work. Let me show you why it will not work. Even if I decide to remove all of this from here, just like what I've done before, have them hidden, and take off this particular part, take off this very part, and take off this part. Now we're going to Ctrl X to cut it away from here. Then we go to dashboard, and what we need to do is to Ctrl V and resize it and keep it inside here, then we have space issue. This chart is enough. It's okay to actually get this visualized if we have enough space. But due to the space issue that we have right now, we can't actually use this right in here. It's not going to work. So what do? We just go over to the top ribbon and click on this design, and from design we go to change chart type over here. Then we select this particular bar chart, and over here this is what we need to use. Click on OK. So now it's showing up everything without making it difficult for you to read it. So take off the gradient. Sorry, should I call it gradient? The grade line rather. So take it off, and now we take off. Leave the axis here. So take off the fill color and the fill color. No this. So click back on this one and go over here and put it at 70 something. Depends on what you want and your screen size. So now we just have to go over to here. Don't forget we are using this particular color. So just like what we have right in here. Then click over here now and go to the text option and choose the right text for you. Okay, everything shows up. Then this particular x-axis should be turned off. Can you see it right now? So we're not done yet. You can click inside it and just move this one inside. Can you see it now? So we can click over here now and turn on data label. Once you have done that, click over here and let's go straight up to here to actually get our values, brighter one. Okay, you can see how speedy this one looks right now. So we have something like this. So let's get back here. So what we can do right now, over here, we just have to say equals sum. I think so, yeah. Sum of this whole number we have right in here, then close it. Once you've done that, you just have to do ampersand and just say products have most low stocks. So can you see? This is the totality of how many low stocks that we actually have. So what we can do right now is to go straight up to this particular part here, Control D, and bring this over to this particular spot. In that case, we're going to move this one up a little bit to create a space for this one, right? So let's go ahead and pick it up. So we go straight up to question and we pick up this one. So we still use this same style. So here we go. We have it. Adjust it properly. Okay. Next question. Are we overstocking any products? This is another question we should actually answer. So this time around, what I'm going to do is just to quickly go over here and click on this, click on this, click on this, click on this, click, oh, sorry, Control Z. Click on this, click on this. Now with Control D, we just have to make sure we move it and keep it somewhere around here. Around here. So we're going to adjust things later, but for now, let us leave it this way. So are we stocking any products? Let's go ahead and find out where it is. So here we go. We have it right in here. All we have to do is to just go ahead and create the same exact kind of chart we have used before, which is this very one here. So take off this value, take off this very one, right? And reduce this. Then Ctrl X to cut it. And over here, we just have to do Ctrl V to paste it down and just resize this and keep it somewhere around here. So double click and no. Then click back on it on the inner one and just do this. So once you have done this, double click and just go ahead and push it out a little bit. Okay, now we have this done. So we just have to go ahead and select a color for this, the same exact color I've actually used before. So now we just have to push this down. Something like this would be cool. So now all we need to do now is just to click over here, over here, over here, and push it up a little bit. We're creating a space for something very important here. So now, what name are we going to give to this one? This one is actually going to be, oh no, let's see what happens. It seems we selected the wrong one. This is what we have used. This one here is total product. And let's see that again. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure it's for this one. Let's create for the last time. I'm so sorry for that mixed up. Oh no, this is it. Ctrl X. So on this one, we delete this one away from here. Ctrl V to paste it. So bring it up, right click, have it hidden. Take off every single thing we have right in here. So we reduce the size, keep it somewhere around here. Double click on it, turn off every single thing. Click back on it and turn off the border. So resize it and keep it around here. So click on it and just go straight up to this particular part. So we have done that. Let's go straight up to here and select this. Bring the color down to blend with the background a little bit. So this is our main focus right here. So now it is time for me to pick the value. So before I pick the value, what is it? We have overstock. So go over here and say this is our overstock. This is orders. So what do? We go straight up to this particular part here. For our overstock, it's gonna be this number. For orders, we select for this particular number. So we have to go straight up to this particular part and straight up to home, double click on this, apply and apply. So we have something that looks like this. So don't forget, this is very important. Duplicate it and keep it beneath here. And let's go straight up to this particular part. And over here, we're going to put an equal sign and use the text function. Apply the formatting to this one, 0.0%. Then have it closed, ampersand here. So space. Then we're going to say of products are overstocked. You see that now? Let's go back and go ahead and pick it up. We're right here, hit enter key, and just gave it the same exact formatting. So can you see that now? This is beautiful. Okay, we're gonna leave this particular part for slicer. And over here, we have to visualize our average reorder level. It's important. So just go ahead and duplicate this particular one and keep it somewhere around here, right? So let's quickly go ahead and pick it up. Average, where could I find that? So here we go. So what I'm actually concerned about right now is this particular color here. I want to make sure I change my mind to select this very kind of color I've used over here. So just go ahead and actually use the format painter and apply it. And here you go. It turned out a lot. Okay, we have done this right now. It is time to see what we can do right here. Over here it says, what is our stock value by category? Let's go. Let's go, category. So here we go, we have it right in here. It's going to be a pivot chart as well. Very simple, anybody can do this. Let's use this one for space purpose. So once we have actually clicked on that, just go over here and make sure you right click and just do sort smallest to largest. It's going to actually start from this biggest to the smallest. Then we have to take off any axis we don't actually need to keep. We take off the total away from here. We right click on this particular one and we have this one hidden. Then we just go straight up to this particular part here and resize this. Then Ctrl X to cut it. Then over here we have it. So what do? We just drop it on this particular part. Once done, double click over here. No fill, no fill. So we just have to do the needful. I believe this particular part is something that is well understood. So we click on this particular one, click over here. We just make it a little bit exactly. So we straight up go over to here. The same color with this. So let's click on this one, hit our label. So click over here and let's do the number formatting. So over here we have an issue. We just have to click on this one and just push this one inside to see if it creates anything good for you. So you can now shift this one, shift it until you have all the values showing up. Then we can now move them inside like this. So I said this one depends on the kind of screen size you have. If you have a lot of screen size, don't manage it. Just make sure you spread it. So just say no fill as well. So we have something as clean as this. The next question is the 5 product with the highest stock value. Here is going to be a little bit, I think I want to keep this. I want you to do this one. Be able to come over here, show 2 of them. There should be switch between them. When you want to switch between this particular one and this one, there should be a button that helps to do that. So before we actually go ahead and solve it, let's solve this one first, because this one is going to take a little time, but it's something very important that you need to know. So it says, which products are below their reorder level? So it's simple. Let's go straight up to where we have that writing, this one here. Can you see it now? So we just go straight up to this. Because of space, we use this one. We Ctrl X, we go back here. So we paste it in. Just move it over here. So we right click and we turn off everything, have it hidden. This one too should be gone. This one gone. Total 2. Now we double click over here, no fill, no line. So over here we just go ahead and change the color to match what we want. So straight up to this particular part now, we do the tab label. So once you have done that, we just go straight up to here, we get the value showed up. So we click on this one and we say no line to it. So we click on the bars and we go straight up to this particular part and we make the bars to be a little bit thicker than what it is right now. So the next thing now, we change the color to match the color of the previous charts we have actually used. Then finally, we go over here and we right click and say sort smallest to largest. Then we should have it sorted from largest to the smallest value right in here. So we have something like this. What I'm going to do right now is to remove the x-axis away from here. So beautiful. So adjust it and make sure you fill it inside over here. And here you go. We are almost at the far end of this particular, dashboard. So we are right in here right now. We need to create something much more beautiful and be able to switch between 2 values. So how about that? Have you tried it? So let me show you how to get that done. So we're going to come over to where it is. This is the pivot table we want to use. This very one right in here. So now this one can be, I think it's button like this. Okay, what we can do right now is to go over to the top ribbon here, go to our developer and click over insert and insert an option button. So make sure you remove the text you have in it. But don't resize it, don't readjust it. Remove the text you have in it. Once you've done that, go ahead and duplicate it. So you have 2 of them. Keep this one over here and keep this one over to here, right? So once you have done that, let us copy any one of our chairs here and keep it somewhere around here. And what is inside here right now, we're going to just say reorder. make it smaller and keep it right here. Duplicate it, and for the duplicate, so this one will be stock value. Stock values. So keep this over here. Before then, let us go ahead and move this one away to this spot. Now we can just keep this over here. So what we can do right now, select both of them and right click and send them to back for a reason. Send to back. They are gone, they've disappeared. Click on this particular card and actually send to back, it will reappear. So what happens, even if I don't target this particular pattern, I'm just targeting the text right here, I'll still be able to switch between, two of them. So right now, this is what it is. Okay, let us right click on this very one here and go to form control. Once we have done that, we come over to this very one, and for the button, click over here and click on OK. So now we're going to see one once we get back. So we can use this one now to configure what we want. Over here, I'm going to just select this particular part. So as an array, we have the table. So now I'm going to say if this particular one here, F to lock it down is equals 1, then move from here. Otherwise, get into here and retrieve whatever it is right for us. So now we can just go ahead and highlight this particular spot. So now we have it. Go ahead and create the pivot table. Or chart, rather, pivot chart. So this one, no. We can change it. Let's change our mind. So we select this one because of space issue. So we take off this one from here. We take this off the grid lines. So Ctrl X, and over here we have to. So now double click on it. No fill, no this. So we just have to quickly go ahead and do the right formatting. So click over here and select data label. Then let's go straight up to this particular part here. So now if I switch to this particular one, I have all the values right in here. I can just stretch this to make sure everything shows up. Then click on this particular part here and reduce this one to go in. So you see how it is right now. So click over here and click over here now and choose the color you want to use, this color. And here we go. So can you see it now? So you only have, the opportunity to actually sort only one of them. Either you sort by this one or you sort by this. But if you want to actually make a sort, we have a function that can do that. I think I've taught that in my course. So just go ahead and take a look at the course I have. You're going to see how to sort it, both of them dynamically, right? So sort from, smallest to largest. Let's do this sorting. Let's get back here. So when I click on this one now, it's sorted, but this one will not be sorted. There's a function to actually handle this, and it's very simple and easy. So right now, I think we have actually completed this to like 98%, if not 99%. What is left right now is adding up a slicer and connect the slicer to make it work 100%. Okay, so what about this? So what are the slicers we want to add? We want to add slicers like category and supplier. So all we have to do is to go over to the question, and over here, this is actually our product. Right click over here and go to this particular, I think it's going to be show field list. And now over here, we just right click on our category and we add it as a slicer. Here we go. We have our first slicer. Then we add supplier as our second slicer. So once we have gotten those particular two slicers right in here, all we have to do is to Ctrl X, and being here, we just have to do Ctrl V to paste them down. So once we have done that, we just come over here and adjust it. Okay, nicely done. So I'm just going to readjust this particular one here. So now we have all of this right in here. The next thing we have to do right now is to make sure this particular slicer blends with the background. So click on any of the background that looks like the one we have right in here, or this particular one, and Control 1, and make sure you copy the exact color we are using right in here, which is going to be this one. Then we've copied the color. The next thing we have to do right now, click on any of these particular slicers right here. Then go over to slicer. Then actually right click and right click over here, duplicate it. Once you have done that, you can actually click on header or on the whole. Let's go to format, then say no border. On the fill, just go over here and custom, then we'll paste in the color we have copied. So click on OK, we click on OK. So if you want to see the effect right now, you go click on OK, you click over here, you just click, and now you can see the effect is blending. So we have to do one more work, as in more works. Before we go into that, okay, let's do modify. Now it's modified, not duplicate again. For the header, we click on more, or format rather, then border. Should I have a border for the header? Yes, we can have a border for the header. Then turn it on, take off this border, take off this border, chop off this border, and make sure you're selecting the lighter version. Then go over here, select the same color, and select it. Then click on OK. That is that. So click on it again and go over to font color. For the font color, we just want to select something like this one here. Then for the fill color for the header, go to more and go to custom. From custom, swap, and here we go. So we click on OK. So selected item with data, we just want to go over to it, and over here we just want to just make sure there is no color that is not matching our background. We have actually selected the color, so no border. For the font, we select a white font, something brighter, like a very white color, like this one here. Then for the border, no border. For the fill, we have changed it. I selected item with data. So on selected item with data right now, we go over here and we say no border to it, and the fill color should be the same exact color as our background. So we take off this one and we'll click on OK. Over here for the font, we just have to select something that is a little bit fainting into the background, and we still use italic like this. So let's find out how it looks. So it looks like this. Can you see now? So now this is what is happening. Oh, what can we do? It's only affecting one single, visual. So we have to connect. Before we connect right now, we have to go all the way back here. So we have to rename our category. This is our category. So click on it and go over to this particular design here. Sorry, pivot tables analyzer. Go over here and put cart for category. Cart 1, we have like 2 times of it. So now we go over to supplier. This warehouse. This is our supplier. We have it as slicer. We want to identify it. So go over here and just do SP for supplier, SP for supplier, right? So next again is just for we to look for any category. We have another category over here. So we just have to identify our category. So cart 2. Okay, now once we have done that, we just go back here again. And now right click and just say report connection. Report connection. You can actually widen it. So now it is time for me to add to this. We are on category. We don't want to give it to any of the categories right here. You just have to select every other things except categories. So once you are done, click on OK. So now, can you see? It's affecting every other visuals. Okay, you select it. Now, do the same to this particular one. Right click and go to report connection. Then widen everything to make sure this SP is visible. So I connect to this one. Let's connect to every other slicers except SP, which is itself. So now, can you see now? This is what we actually have right in here. Everything is actually working fine, like 100%. Okay, so what about this? So check it out and see where you think we can actually fix something right in, and see how you can develop that, and tell me in the comment section what we are missing that we should have actually added that we did not actually add is very important to me, because I want to learn from you too. If there is any mistake I've made, please don't hesitate to actually tell me that, oh, you made this particular mistake, it should have been this way out. So inventory. Okay, so here we go. We have a title for our dashboard. I just want to go ahead and select a particular color that is a bit faint into the background. I think something like this would be cool for me. This is what we have actually just created, and it's something very interesting, very beautiful, and I believe you must have actually sit down and actually create something that looks like this. So if it's your first time hitting this particular channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe to this particular channel, because I'm going to be doing a lot of tutorials on Excel and Power BI dashboards just for you in any industry of your choice. So how about it? You're welcome. See you in my next videos.